Hi, welcome to week 3 of Magoos Corner. I'm your host Trevor Gregg, and we'll go through the past week's results plus next week's rounds, the fixture for round 1 reserves. So starting off, we had Goodwood Saints versus Salisbury North out at Goodwood Oval, and this one was a relatively close one with Goodwood Saints 8-6-54 getting on top of Salisbury North 4-6-30. A closer game than what I thought it was going to be. I knew Salisbury North would be quite competitive this week against the guys that would be setting the benchmark in Goodwood Saints. But goal scorers for Goodwood Saints, you had George McEwers with 2 apiece, Elling, Almond, Orp, Watkins, Fitzpatrick and Elms all chipping in. And for Salisbury North, we had McBride, Motley and Rayson also chipping in to getting the job done there. So as I said earlier, a bit closer than what I thought it was going to be. We did tip Goodwood to get the chocolates this week, so it should be a nice result for Salisbury North because they will be extremely competitive, as I said previously, and Goodwood Saints just continuing on with the way that they're going and how they're going about it. We also had my boys Henley take on Portland out at Henley for Anzac Day. Very good day. Henley put on a great show, fantastic hospitality, but unfortunately it was Henley 15-9-99 to my boys at Portland 4-3-27. Probably doesn't explain or be really indicative of how the game actually played out. Henley were extremely competitive from the get-go for the first 5 minutes of the game, but we managed to stop the flow, so to speak, and draw the game to quite an even playing field. So we were about 2 goals down at half-time, but Henley sort of really kicked in from I'd say the 12-minute mark of the third quarter, and then just did what Henley does. So their spread, their run from half-back, and their work around the stoppages from the outside feed was extremely impressive. So Travis Nat from Port Districts last year was extremely good up forward, so kicking 7. Francis kicking 4, and you had Sheepers, Rex, Curry and Rowley also chipping in to get on the score sheet. So they were really good, and especially around the stoppage, as I said earlier. So that outside feed and the delivery was always to the advantage of Nat and the forwards. For us, we had the goal kickers with Jake Patterson with 2 and Simon Brooker with 1. Best players, of course, for Henley were Nathan Russell, Travis Nat, Francis, Rex, Graham and Obst. Obst was really good in my opinion. Positive signs for Portland in their B grade. They're starting to be more competitive than what we were last year, but I do believe with Henley, with their depth, will be another force to be reckoned with this year. So they're extremely competitive, and they got the job done. So well done to Henley. Great day for Anzac Day, which I'm sure it was on most of the ovals on Saturday, but unfortunately not the result I wanted for our guys. But we'll move on to next week. The third game we had Payneham Norwood Union versus Rostrevor. Now this was a game that I thought would be really close. We did tip Rostrevor to win this one. Rostrevor 8-11-59 to Payneham 6-6-42. And that was at Paynham's Oval. And one thing that I do know, knowing the president or CEO of Paynham in George Dantokia, is they put on a fantastic hospitality event when they've got home games on. So they've got the way that they're set up is very impressive. So goal kickers for Rostrevor was Richter with 3, O'Malley again getting on the score sheet with 2, Jordan with 2 and Lyons also chipping in. Best players for Rostrevor were Jordan, Mead, Holland, O'Leary and Grigg. And that's just the normal suspects that we see with Rostrevor. Paynham, we had Mignon with 2, Trainos with 2, One-Key, Costanzo and Sampson also chipping in. Best players were Clark, Suvalis, Hannah, Pippett and Costanzo as well. So that was a little bit more competitive than what I thought it was going to be. I thought Rostrevor would kick away, but it just goes to show where Paynham are sitting at the moment. I mean, there are, as Tommy said last week, there is whispers of Paynham having their play sheets laminated in the huddles and that sort of stuff, but they're an extremely well drilled outfit out of Paynham, and same with Rostrevor. But once again, very close game, and Paynham sort of really sitting there to say, yes, we are here in Div 1 and we deserve to be here. So that's well done to Paynham for that type of game. But Rostrevor get the job done. Out at Peteringa Oval, we had Tea Tree Gully taking on Port Districts. Now this was a surprise for me. Inaccurate kicking from both sides, but more so from Port Districts. But Port Districts actually getting the job done. 6-13-49 to Tea Tree Gully 6-7-43. So I really did think that Tea Tree Gully would get the job done here. But goal scorers for districts was Johnson and the old boy Madden, Brogden, Bryant and Jenke. Best players were Fisk, McIntyre, Ween, Johnson and Ginnivan. For Tea Tree Gully we had Wilson with 2, Hellier, Popke, Daniels and Penny. Best players for Tea Tree Gully was Hollindale, Doyle, Robinson, Hannah and Sandico. Again, big surprise, especially going out to Tea Tree Gully, because it's not the closest oval to drive to from the western suburbs, but and you have to go kudos to Port Districts for getting the job done out there, and I think it may be a different story next week with Tea Tree Gully, but we'll have to see how that one goes. Now for the final game of the round, we had Adelaide University taking on Sacred Heart. Now Sacred Heart have got the biscuits here, so 8-5-53 to Adelaide Uni 6-4-40. Again, a different result. So it's one where we all associate Adelaide Uni with that run and carry through half back and out wide. Sacred Heart haven't come up against for a little bit, so we'll have to see what that's like when we come up against them. But from all notes, the Sacred Heart are extremely competitive. Lots of drive at the footy, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. But they're stamping their claim is that they come to the division, and they're staying there, much like Payneham. So goal scorers for Sacred Heart, we had Turton with 3, Jordan, Atkinson, Noel and Villies with 1 apiece. Best players came in with Taylor, Montgomery, Turton, Wooldridge and Proud. So nice spread there. Adelaide Uni, we had Tronalone with 2, Charlie, Dads, Anderson and Oath, I think it is, apologies mate. Best players Agnew, Madder, Robinson, Leslie, Green and Dad. So it's that was a nice finish to the round. So what we have for next week is Rostrevor take on Tea Tree Gully at Campbelltown Memorial Oval. This one will be tight, but I do believe Tea Tree Gully will get the job done after dropping that game against Districts last week. But it'll be interesting to see how that one goes. I don't think it'll be a blowout by any stretch. Second game we have down at Largs Reserve, Port Districts versus Goodwood Saints. This will be a test for Districts. If they've got those guys like Madden playing down there, it'll be difficult for Goodwood Saints goal scorers to get on top there, but I do believe Goodwood Saints will get the job done there and just keep going on their merry way. And we have the third game here at Port Reserve. We have Portland versus Adelaide Uni. One thing for us would be to stop the run and spread from Adelaide University. So on a smaller oval like ours, it might play into our favour a little bit more, but yeah, we'll see how that goes, but hopefully our boys can get up. And we have the next game, Sacred Heart versus Payneham Norwood Union. So the two teams coming up to Division 1, this will be like the grand final replay. So we'll just have to see how this one goes, but I think it'll be very close. And I'm going to go for a little bit of an upset here and say the Sacred Heart will win that one. Sorry, George, but I think, yeah, the Shockers, Old Collegians will get that one for me. And the last one, up at Salisbury North Oval, we'll have Salisbury North versus Henley. Now, from what we've had in the past with Salisbury having quite a number of inclusions in their A grade, I think their depth is extremely strong. It will be a close game, but I think Salisbury North will get the job done up there from what I've seen so far. If Salisbury can keep their run, or from straight off the bat from the first quarter, absorb the heat that Henley will deliver, no doubt, I think Salisbury North will get the job done. So that's round 3 for the Division 1 reserves. Thanks to australiasports.com and the SA Footballer magazine that you'll see every Thursday or Friday morning linked through to you. So thanks very much for your time, and we'll catch you again next week.